Welcome to the show that never ends, the longest running daily variety show on planet Earth. The Mark and Pires Show, day 1878 in a row. This show is sponsored by the BeatSeat, the only drum in the world for guitar players. You can get the BeatSeat at BeatSeat.rocks. It's the only full-body drum on earth. You can sit upright, play with your hands, you can play with your feet at the same time. You don't hurt your back. It sounds like a drum kit. If you're a guitar player, you can play your guitar and kick it while you sit comfortably. The only guitar seat on earth that is also a drum. You can get it at BeatSeat.rocks. The BeatSeat was selected Editor's Choice at 2019 Summer NAMM. It's also an extremely powerful sensory therapy drum for anybody with a special needs. So if you know anybody with autism, if you're friends with anybody who has an autistic child, inform them about the most powerful sensory therapy drum on earth. It's called the BeatSeat. You can get it at BeatSeat.rocks. So welcome to the Mark and Pires Show. This is the morning news. We do the breaking news, we scroll it together, and we add some comedy because this is a negative world, as you know, and everything in the news is intended to divide us and conquer. So what we do here is we rise above by taking stories that would normally freak you out and we make them hilarious. If you ever liked Saturday Night Live, Weekend Update, it's kind of similar to that. And I get goofy, guys. This is a show about getting goofy. So if you're open to somebody reading a news story and taking a rabbit hole of comedy within that news story, that's what we do best. And if you see any of my clips on TikTok, you're seeing a 30-second or a 1-minute clip from a 15-minute piece of comedy news. So please, if you're like, I don't understand the context, if you think there's anything funny in that little clip, just go watch the story to get full context. I'm a callback comedian. I'll start with one thing and then I'll bring it back throughout the entire news story. So you gotta go and watch the whole thing for you to really enjoy it. I hope you'll be with us every day. We're here 9 a.m. in the morning. We're live every single night after 9 p.m. This is a double-decker show. I've been live 1,878 days in a row today. Harvey, I got Helen Gale here, Trish Killian, Barella. It's a good start to the day. DM Ryan is here. You guys, if you can, head over to YouTube and join us. That's where you'll get to see these news stories. I pop it up on the screen and we scroll together. I don't know what we're gonna read yet. This is an unscripted show for 1,878 days in a row. At night, what do you get at night? At night, I take out this guitar here, and I take out the BeatSeat I was telling you about, the only drum in the world for guitar players, and we write music live in the moment that sounds like
Give me more, hey. So many perfect ways to spend your days and get me. Oh wow, you're something to live for.
Guys, Matt Zabrowski is here. He's here every day for a woohoo morning and night. Because you're probably like, does he only do one woohoo a day? No, we got Zabrowski on a contract deal. He's your double show, morning, evening. Zabrowski, this is part of your gig. You do the woohoo. What? Oh, okay, I'll throw it to you. Matt Zabrowski. When he comes and he takes the subway out from the city, Joanne picks him up with the hovercraft. And that's how we get Zabrowski back and forth on a daily. So let's open up the news, you beautiful people. I want to hear how you're doing, first of all. Where are you tuning in from? Leave that on the screen so I could say hello to you. And we're crossing time today, all right? It's 4 o'clock in the morning where I am. Let's travel through time together. I'm here at 9:37 a.m. I'm in Connecticut. In case you guys are wondering, where's Mark? Where is he broadcasting from? Connecticut. So here we go, news of the day. Let me see if I can pop this up. Jason, how are you, my friend? So good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Jason, I think will enjoy the intro to today's show. If you scroll back, buddy, and see it. It was only about 3 minutes ago. Anyway, let's see. I'm going to play you guys, or get you in on this. I think this is the way the news feed is looking best. You tell me if you agree. All right, yeah, you got it in the corner there. Let's rock and roll. All right, news of the day. We're scrolling it. As you guys know, we're staying away from all politics, so let's just move past the cracky and move on over here. Famous 280 million year fossil is just paint. Ha! Oh, goodness. Someone just tried to pull a 1-2 Magoo. I have to see this. Someone's, you know, when you got the painted rock and you're trying to see if you could, you know, pawn it off as a real fossil to get the big bucks from the museum. That's a museum piece right there. I'm sorry? Oh, no, it's a watercolor. You didn't think about first applying water to it? See, we could just, you know, dilute the paint. No, guys, it's a fossil. We got to keep it inside the container. 84 years it's been sitting in a container. They're looking at it through glass. Guys, look at the fossil. It's paint. You guys got totally duped. Oh, goodness. A 280 million year fossil thought to be a well-preserved specimen of an ancient reptile is largely a forgery. It was done by, I couldn't think of his name in time. You know, it's a morning show, guys. Apparently, they're saying it was done by Banksy. That's who I was trying to reach for, Banksy. Oh, goodness. Banksy's the forger of all forgers. He's doing fossils now. The fossil initially discovered in the Italian Alps in 1931. I'm not even joking when I said 84 years. Behind glass. 84 years in it. Oh, look at that fossil. Guys, look. It's a well-preserved ancient reptile. This has got to be at least 30 or 40 million years old. I'm sorry? 37 years old? Banksy's grandfather did this one, you know? He's the one who gave Banksy all the, you know, I would say the spirit, the enthusiasm to bring it to 2024, you know? Anyway, let's see what we have here. The scientific name of it was Tridentinosaurus antiquus. It's really just a big freaking hunk of rock that someone painted. With, like, probably, I'm just imagining they used watercolors. I'm just saying, 1880s. It was founded in 1931. It was created in 1930. Well, we don't know. We're just still trying to figure it out. Scientists thought the dark, deep outline of the lizard-like body encased in the rock was skin and soft tissue. They considered the fossil to be like a puzzle piece for understanding early reptile evolution. Their complete world has been shattered. Every theory that they've ever come up with is based on this one reptile. Guys, they have to go back to the drawing board now because, like, what they have, it's not real. It's not like all the books lies, you know, based on Tridentinosaurus, you know. The fossil appeared in a book, an article, citations over the decades. Guys, it's just revealing my jokes as truth. Unreal. But no one ever studied it in detail. They just wrote tons of books on it and how evolution took place based on this rock that was painted by Banksy's grandparents. I think the grandmother helped as well with the tail. You know, guys, it's housed in the collections at the University of Padua's Museum in Nature and Humankind in Italy. Guys, it's housed in the collections, which means when you go there and you're walking through the University of Padua's Museum of Nature and Humankind, and you're just kind of like, I wonder what that is. I don't know. Let me look through a freaking huge piece of plate glass at that reptile Tridentinosaurus. No. Painted rock. A new detailed analysis revealed that the dark color of the fossil isn't preserved genetic material. It's just black paint covering a couple of bones and carved rock. The researchers behind the study reported their findings on February 15th. 93 years after they found this thing, and they've been observing it and creating content off of it, by the way. The body outline of the fossil specimen. I gotta find the guy who created his entire thesis on this thing. You know? Like, I wanna know the guy who's like, I'm gonna do a thesis on Tridentinosaurus antiquus because it's a real thing. And like now he loses his college credits, right? We gotta go retroactively. His thesis was based on a lie. You know, painted rock. Oh, goodness. You know, here we go. We got someone who actually did this, right? Dr. Valentina Rossi, she's a postdoctoral researcher in paleobiology, University of College Cork in Ireland, guys. I did my study. I'm just kidding. So without the use of diagnostic techniques, it would be impossible to identify the dark-colored material properly. It's paint. It's paint. The revelation highlights the fresh knowledge that could be reaped from re-examining old, previously studied fossil specimens in museum collections using the latest technique. How many other pieces out there are just paint? Oh my goodness. Guys, this is comedy right here in itself. Where is the world? Share this feed because what in the freaking heck? Oh my goodness. Imagine you're going from just museum gallery to gallery and you start really getting in there with the microscope and you're looking at these fossils like never before. They allow you to take them from behind the plate glass window so you can get in there. You're microscoping right on top of this rock or whatever the freaking heck that they're displaying for the last 800 years as like an antique. You find out that it was painted by Banksy's daughter. You know, she did it. And you just got it as a, donation last year. Just created 2 years ago. Unveiling of Forgery. Reptiles first appeared between the Carboniferous and Permian eras, about 310 to 320 million years ago, guys. It's a long time ago. But understanding the evolution of these scaly vertebrae depend on the paleontologists unearthed the record, the fossil record. The diversity of the earliest reptilian animals is still a knowledge gap researchers are trying to fill. And it doesn't help when people are creating forgeries, like a reptile that's painted. Guys, look at this rock I found. It's a real fossil. I'm thinking you give me a couple $100K. You take the fossil, you put it behind a piece of glass so no one can even touch it or look at it really close. They can't really inspect it. Keep it there for a couple hundred years, you're good. Like the amount of information created in the Library of Congress based on Tritanticiphus, it's immense. It's immense. And remember Gilbert Janjukis, that guy, he created his whole thesis. Hold on, I think we have to make a phone call. Hi, yes, is this the University College Cork in Ireland? Yes, this is Mark Inspires. I'm calling live on the air. We have a conversation to have with you about... I'm sorry? Oh, Helga. I appreciate that. I appreciate that you're a huge fan of the show. But listen, I'm here. We're trying to get to the bottom of it, the forgeries. You had a student there, Gilbert Schnevics. Was it? Oh, I'm sorry, Tripkolovics. Yeah, you remember him. You remember he had that whole postdoctorate that he did on hold on, I just have to get the scientific name. He did a postdoctorate on the Tridentinosaurus antiquus. Do you remember this one? Helga, of course you do. He was written up in the local paper. Listen, I need you to understand something about this one, Helga. Okay, it's all a lie. Yeah, go check it out. Pull it up. We're live right now. I'll show you. Hold on. Let me show you. Yeah, do you see that? Yeah, it's paint. It's paint, Helga. You guys are there. You got like the ticker tape parade. You're all coming out there to celebrate Gilbert Tiktavics as he's there and he's celebrating his victory with his fossil of Tridentinosaurus. What the hell is it called again? Helga, yeah, that's right, Tridentinosaurus antiquus. Yeah, no, Helga, look, I know you're going to do what you need to do there. And what I mean by that is discredit Gilbert Tiktavics for all of his lies. He thieved the university out of an education. He lied to you guys, created content. You guys are now the ones that are referenced, in all Tridentinosaurus antiquus documentation now. And, I just think that's just like a mar, that's a stain on your record. Yeah, Helga. No, I know. I'll see you in the chat. I appreciate you. Yeah, no, I think so. I mean, look, I'm going to continue to call people out, and if there's another Gilbert out there who wrote his entire thesis on Tridentinosaurus antiquus, the painted fossil on the screen next to me. here. I'm going to also take them down. Yeah, that we have to do that. You know, it's important, Helga, you know, that we take people to task when they're out there thieving the American people, the Irish people, the Cork University people. You know, I'm sure Professor, you know, Winston McGillicuddy is really taken aback with this one. Yeah, you just tell McGillicuddy that it's in the news, it's on the Mark and Spire show, therefore it's happening in real time. Yeah, you know it. There's no script, of course. Helga, look, it's been a pleasure. And I really appreciate knowing that you tune into the show from Ireland. You know, we're talking about having a world map, a Mark and Spire's world map. So when people are tuning in from like Chattanooga, Tennessee, they could put a pin on that map and be like, I'm inspiring the world with some positivity here in Chattanooga. Yeah, that's where the choo-choo's from, Helga. Yeah, the Chattanooga choo-choo. You remember? Helga, you know, I don't know what they are playing over there in Ireland. Celtic music or whatever. I'm here. I'm in Connecticut with Chattanooga, the choo-choo. It's a big deal here in the United States, okay? Yeah, but just make sure you tell McGillicuddy about the fossil. Yeah, it's paint. Yeah, sorry to bust your bubble. I would call the local paper too, since they did the ticker take for Gilbert, you know, for writing this piece and, you know, bringing so much attention to Cork University on the subject. They may want to do a follow-up or a retraction. Gilbert's a piece of garbage. Gilbert wrote us down a river that we can't come back from now. It's like a rushing river and we're not salmon. Yeah, you get it, Helga. Yeah, okay, see you in the chat. Thanks, Helga, you rock. No, Helga, you rock. Okay, Helga, we both rock. Yeah, all right, I'll see you later. Yep, paint, that's right. Helga, she's a laugh. Helga is a laugh, I gotta say. Every time I get Helga on the line, this is the first time I had Helga on the line, but every time, it seems like we reach people who are interested in tuning into the show on a daily basis. They're spreading the positivity and the local comedy news, or sometimes not local. It's mostly not local. You know, this fossil is not local. Banksy, he's in England doing these things, I think, right? I don't think Banksy is relocated yet. He's still in England. The Banksy fossil. It was auctioned off at Sotheby's. I don't know if you guys know that. They always wait until the room is full before they start the auction, especially on a Banksy. Anyway, guys, back to the next story, I guess. Guys, can I just say to you, I'm just saying this as a guy who has really no idea after being live for 1,878 days in a row, in the moment, creating comedy or talking about stories in the moment and making goofy comments about it. If what I think is funny, that was a ridiculous story. What are we talking about over here? Hold on. Guys, we have so many stories to get to. I don't know any of them yet because this is a live Scroll the News show. Hit it up on YouTube if you want to see this scrolling. Kevin O'Leary says he will no longer invest in loser New York after the Donald J. Trump verdict. Look up winning big league until Edgar came along with Letitia James. And now I'm here, I'm at home, I'm licking my wounds by my gold toilet. And Melania, don't go near the gold toilet. You know, what? I can't do the politics, guys. The Navalny's last letters, Russian dictator, called everything's politics. Another one. We got to keep, another one. You guys, I'm trying to stay away from politics because there's no way for us to all get together if I do politics. Because no matter what I try to make comedy on, someone's going to get pissed off. We're a sensitive world right now. So I'm just trying to pick stories that we could all laugh at. I'm trying to pick stories that we could all kind of just have a chuckle at and forget about the crappy world and all the other BS and the gaslighting that's going on. Can you join me for that, please? Smash the screen, share. Let's get this going. Walmart's massive decision to price drop is still going strong. It sounds good to me. I don't really care. Guys, okay, we're just going to count. I want somebody here on YouTube. Can you please count how many times you see either the name Donald J. Trump or you see, my Aunt Judy told me to stop pooping in a triple diaper. And you got to sleep sofa Joe. I want to see it. You pop it. Oh, it's been 38. I'm pretty sure there's only 3 actual stories. Everything else has one of those 2 people in there. And it's actually more the first guy. The other guy, they continue to give a pass to, even though he's shuffling. I can't. Here we go. Again, there's another guy who's counting. Another. 2 men charged with murder in Kansas City Chiefs rally shooting. This is kind of getting political, though, guys. This is going to offend some people because truth is only spoken on this show. That's all I can do. So I'm trying not to go into the politics side because then it gets real. 2 men were charged with murder and other felony charges for their roles in the mass shooting after Kansas City Chiefs championship rally last week. Lindell Mays of Rayton and Dominic L. Miller of Kansas City were both charged with second-degree murder, unlawful use of a weapon, and 2 counts of armed criminal action. They are being held on a $1 million bond. Oh, wait a second. I'm not going to get into it, but I just want to ask you one simple question. The day, the moment any of these things happen, it goes right into an entire thing about. And when, because it does happen, somebody who within the same group that they're trying to lambaste perpetrates, they'll take a week before they tell you about it. Oh, shooter, we don't know who it was. And then it comes out and they try to sweep it under the rug like they're doing with this right here. I just think it's a bunch of horse crap. Treat everybody the same. That's the whole point of not having racism. You treat everybody the same. Goodness, look at this. Guys, there's nothing here. Look at every single story is taking this guy down. Oh my goodness. Can I talk about that at least? How this entire play that every story on Yahoo right now is a takedown of the former president of the United States. Every single one. Are you seeing this? Guys, has there been one? Here's one. It's an ad about Connecticut drivers with no DUIs getting a payday. That's it. Here's one, catching up with Matteo Pavon, the first French PGA Tour winner since 1907. There's a cool story. We may have to do that because there's no other stories where I don't see the name Trump or Biden. Wow. Look at, guys, this is scary. This is scary. Okay, I don't know what Royal Crackers is. It's a family cracker company. That's something that doesn't have to do with those 2 people. Here's another one. Okay, I got one, guys. We're doing this one. And I don't want to do a story about 11-year-old girl who vanished, found in a river. It's the only story I could try to make comedy out. What? This is unbelievable. Like a hot knife through butter, you need this $40 mini chainsaw for winter pruning. I may have to read the winter freaking pruning chainsaw story, guys. There's nothing else for us here to read. Everything's political. Everything's a takedown of a guy who's being indicted on like 97 different cases that are all frivolous. But this is the craziest intentional I've ever seen in my life. Just like, let's push on every low-hanging fruit mental case who's going to believe it. Oh my goodness. I have 1.5 mil in stocks and bonds. I asked my broker to convert my bonds to cash. He didn't, and my portfolio fell by 100K. Well, you still got 1.4, you dick. You probably started with $1,000. You're one of those guys. I put $1,000 in, I turned it to 1.5 million. Did you? Doogie Howser? You know, when you get a Doogie Howser deal, he even looks like a future Doogie. Math genius. Win-win. A bill to eliminate taxes on Social Security benefits has been reintroduced, and it might keep the program afloat for 20 more years. That's at least like it's still, but it's not like a gaslighting story. I've never seen so many overdrafts. 24-year-old dropped steady jobs to pursue unprofitable gigs, doesn't want to pay back 10K. All right. Guys, do we have anything here that I can read? Look at every story is about politics. I think it's just this crappy freaking channel. I got to get off of Yahoo, clearly. Yahoo's just like, let's destroy Donald Trump. It's so funny. China's biggest banks are finally getting scared by the West's sanctions on Russia. Ooh. Guys, I can't find anything here. This is unreal. All right, we have to change this to a different... Okay. Ecuador's most notorious gang leader lived like a king. While locked up, his jailbreak shines a light on the country's lawless prisons. Should we do that? Ooh, let's read this. Organized crime has come for Home Depot. $100,000 of goods was stolen from the Florida stores at the self-checkout as the theft continues rattling retailers. Look at this guy. He's walking out. He pretended he brought a fake receipt so he could steal all of those, materials right there. And look, he's putting the head down. He's like, I'm a thief. I think that's actually, I wonder if that guy gave credit. Because he's clearly holding a receipt in his hand. A recent investigation in retail theft across Florida Home Depot shows that organized crime isn't just for the mob. 3 people in Florida have been charged with grand theft, and they allegedly stole over $100,000 worth of goods from Home Depot across the state. That's pretty insane. As a fraudulent barcode switching scheme claimed, barcode switching teams. Baglin allegedly worked together to replace the barcodes on more expensive items with those of cheap products. It's just like moving barcodes around. The group allegedly stole 281 buckets of roof sealer in more than 25 incidents in 3 years across 11 South and Central Florida's counties by swapping barcodes for a Henry 887 Tropicool roof sealer, which cost $3.49 a gallon. And they did it for one that cost $40 a gallon. So basically they were saving $309 per gallon. Florida is a law and order state, and we are dismantling organized retail theft rings. Now this group faces our statewide prosecutors in time in prison, where I can promise there is no self-checkout lines. This isn't Home Depot's first run in with organized retail crime in Florida. So basically, it's been happening for a while, they say. Shrink has been a consistent pressure over the last several quarters and even the last few years. That's why they should get rid of the self-checkout. It's like you want to save this concept of having people be the cashiers is mental. Like, hold on, I'm using your equipment. I'm there pushing buttons and have to review things. I'm sorry, that's not my job. My job is to go buy things at your store. And when I walk out, there should be somebody there to take my items and they make sure everything's done properly. If I'm there and I'm in a rush, I'm on the phone, I'm trying to do 50 things at once and I have to stop at Home Depot and now I have to be the cashier as well, that's on you, dude. I don't know how, I mean, this is like obviously a big deal, but when you have self-checkout and things are misallocated or something's going on, you should just get cashiers. It's like they want to try to save the money by keeping people out of a job, but then they have a problem with the new system as well. Pick a system and go with it. If this isn't working and you're looking at your losses, how much did they say? How much did they say shrink was or whatever they call it? They said something crazy, like $400 million, something crazy like that. Whoa. Retailers in general reported $112 billion in losses. What? How is that possible? $112 billion in losses. How much did they make in profits? I think you have to wonder how they balance out their spreadsheets. If they're saying they $112 billion in losses and they're all making billions in profit, they're balancing it out to zero so they don't have to pay any taxes. Who knows? Let's see if it says here. I was wondering if it said how much Home Depot has lost, because you could just do the math and say, okay, we have, 8 different areas where we can have cashiers. Right now we have these self-checkout sections, and then we've got 2 or 3 people checking people out. That's all they have usually is 1 or 2 people. There's usually one person at the end, then you got the self-checkout, and then there's one more person, if you're lucky, who's actually taking people through, and then they're doing the work. But they want to give you the work, and then they want to blame you when things aren't the way that they're, that something doesn't go right. Like, sorry, I don't think it works that way. I think you have some sort of legal right on that. Like, I go there to be a consumer, not to be an employee. So anyway, thoughts on that? I'm curious to see what you guys think. Oh, Taylor Swift story. We're not reading it. Oh, goodness. Anything else here that's not? Sam didn't snitch on anyone. First image of Bankman-Fried behind bars surfaces. Let's see what this scumbag looks like. Oh, my goodness. Look at him. He's like part of like the chain gang. What is this? Look at him. The guy next to him just can't wait to elbow him right in that freaking face. You know, with that pointy nose. He's just sitting out there like, I stole $20 billion. The guy over here, why is this guy the only one you can see his face? Alongside fellow inmates, but why is there one dude with him? You can see the two guys. And you got all these other guys with their faces blocked out. They look like they're a boy band or something, right? I think they're starting a boy band. What do you guys think? I'm starting to think that that's what's going on here. Is you got a boy band deal. This guy here is the smooth, like peanut butter sound. You know what I'm talking about when you're listening to music and you get that smooth peanut butter. That's him. And then Bankman-Fried, you know, he's DJing in the back, stealing your money. So, let's just quickly read this because this guy's a chooch. First photograph of Sam Bankman-Fried, who committed one of the biggest financial frauds in American history. So it's this guy says, SBF in jail goes kind of hard. Does he? He looks like he's been abused a few times at this point, you know, and he's lost his faith in life, in himself. He's believing it now, you know, that he's a piece of garbage. He's believing it. Subsisting on bread and water, sometimes peanut butter. Joanne, did I just do a reference to peanut butter and then we're getting peanut butter reference? Joanne! You know, Joanne, when I'm here doing the news and you're back there tooting and wheezing, it doesn't help the show, Joanne, it hurts the show. Oh, thanks for showing up, Joanne. Oh! Joanne! What the hell did you eat, Joanne? That's disgusting. That ain't right. Joanne. Anyway, back to the news, guys. The group picture was permitted as inmates are allowed to take photos around Christmas. Fong reported. The inmate to Bankman-Fried's right has been identified as a former member of the Bloods gang. G-Lock. That's G-Lock. Yeah. He told Fong that the former billionaire isn't showering often, has grown a full beard, and has become skinny like a toothpick. They like it, you know, when he does that. They're interested when he's totally into being a skinny toothpick who doesn't shower. They like the stench. Or that's a game on his part. So he's like, I smell so freaking bad that none of these guys, part of the, you know, the Crips and the Bloods, want to hang out with me. They're like, I don't like that guy. Not only do I not like his actual ethical value, but I also think he's a piece of garbage because he smells like garbage, like a big pile of crap. You know, it's a Sam Bankman-Fried original right there. He's an original idea. He was on his way to jail. He's like, I got one. I'm gonna crap myself, right? And when people come over, they're like, ooh, there's Sam Bankman-Fried. I'm gonna go get some of that fresh, you know, meat, they call it, fresh meat. And then they come close to me, Sam Bankman-Fried style. And I smell like Sam Bankman peed and pooped his pants, you know? And then they're like, turn tail and run. For the rest of my existence all they have is this reference point of you know? And that's good, because you don't want them thinking about doing things with your hole. You know, you want to just keep it clean, so to speak, after you do the original drop a doocheroo in order to create the entire scheme. Again, Sam Bankman-Fried original. Sometimes he's got a brilliant idea. And look, he's there. You know, he's been doing it. And he didn't get into the trouble you thought he would. Sam Bankman-Fried. You gotta give it to a guy when he's smart enough to do the old smell like crap routine, so nobody wants to hang out with you. And as you can see in this photo here, He smells like crap. Look at that hair. That's crap in his hair. What's that, Joanne? Oh, sorry. Joanne, I'm having a hard time hearing you, but I think you said he just has crappy hair. It's funny. Oh, I caught you, Joanne. You stopped yourself from tooting. I'm proud of you. Good job. Look at Freed, though, huh? Oh, goodness. That's the thing. These guys over here couldn't wait to get away from him. This guy over here, he's like, this isn't a cover on his face. He's wearing a mask, so he doesn't have to smell Freed. He had a deviated septum. When they did the work, messed with his nasal cavity, can't smell anymore. So he's okay with smelling, like being next to Freed. He doesn't care, you know. He doesn't smell a thing. In fact, that's the only one Freed's worried about, is because when he's feeling bloodsy, you know, like going back to his gang roots, he may come after Freed in the middle of the night. He doesn't smell the crap, you know. These guys, they're all wearing masks. Those are all filtered masks, N99s. That's why you don't recognize that one. You're used to the N95s. That's an N99, N99. This guy's having a hard time standing up. He's breathing issues because of this stenchy freaking body over here. This guy, I'm gonna do a big circle around him. Stinky. You see that back there? That's not a shadow. That is the dirt that is wiped off of Sam Bankman-Fried onto the wall. Nobody else has the shadow. You notice that? Because it's not a shadow. It's crap. This guy is just full of it, and it's all over the wall now. Guys, you know, when I have to get scientific on it, you know, sometimes you got to do it. Sometimes you got to get scientific on it. So, oh, goodness. Okay, so we have enough of you, Sam Bankman-Fried. Nobody really cares. Look at this. Hold on. The former gang member applauded Bankman-Fried's reputation among peers. Sam didn't snitch on nobody. Sam's a gangster. Before proceeding to plead with President Sleep Sofa Joe to grant SBF a pardon. You have to imagine, okay, I just want to play this out. This guy over here, can I get a better picture of him? Let's go over to X and see. Look at this freaking guy. Well, I want to see what this looks like on the screen. It's still not very big. Can I make it bigger? Let's see. There we go. We got it bigger. Yes. Ish, can you see it bigger? I don't know. Anyway, this guy right here, Sam Bankman-Fried, he says to him,
look, I'll give you $1 million. If you tell them to pardon me, if you have Sleepy Poopy Pants pardon me because they'll do anything for you. You just came over the border yesterday. We're going to give you a stipend.
He gets the stipend. He stands up, vouches for Sam Bankman-Fried. Guys, when tattoo neck, tattoo arms, and I assume legs, I don't think he has legs anymore, they've all been tatted up, like completely. When tat body asks the President of the United States for a pardon for Sam Bankman-Fried, that's about as good as it gets, you know? Like, I'm pretty sure there's not a better way to get a pardon. It's probably the only way to do it. You got to really, you got to get that guy right here. And if he comes in with a mohawk, like this Magoo did, then you're really in a good position. You're really looking good. So, MDC houses at 32 years old at the time of sentencing, Bankman-Fried could face up to 110 years behind bars. Good. That guy should never get out of jail. Are you serious? How many people lost their life savings or just lost money at all because this piece of garbage took it and then spent it on like an island and on a football team or whatever that was, the stadiums? What a scumbag. But he smells like a scumbag too now. That's his MO, in order to keep the gangsters away from his hiney butt. You got to give it to him. You got to give it to Sam Bankman-Fried. That one was a pretty genius idea. I'm sorry? Oh, yeah, I guess some people would say it was pretty genius in order to get people to give you money for free, and then you steal it. That was also somewhat genius. He just got caught, not genius on that one. The CEO of a $3.5 billion security company is paying for workers to socialize, but only if they go out in threes. That's a weird one. You're trying to create like menage a trois type of stuff. Look, you guys are gonna go out there and do a triple decker style. You go out and eat, you have a couple drinks. One thing leads to another. I want to have some sort of like triborg type of thing. And, let's get into it because we're a security company. We need triborgs. Most people are still trying to get to cyborg. No. We're jumping cyborg right to triborg. That's when you're human, you're cybernetic systems, and then you're also somewhat like of a god in a weird way. So you're a triborg. Giuliani can fight. I don't really care about any of this stuff, guys. Oh, goodness. Flint man becomes first person charged under Michigan's new gun storage law. What is this about? Second Amendment garbage. Let's see. Look at this guy. That looks like Frank Fritz from American Renovation, or whatever it's called, American Pickers. Is that Frank Fritz? American Pickers? He's back, guys. A Michigan man was charged Tuesday under the state's new law requiring safe storage of guns after his 2-year-old daughter shot herself in the head. What the heck? He already lost his daughter. Oh, is she okay? Look at all this stuff. I can't. Vanished on the way to school is another one. 2 men charged with murder. Yep, we saw that one. Talked about that for a split second because we're not going to get into it. Man records disturbing videos while following women shopping at Target. You have to wonder what those disturbing videos were, Ooh, she's buying, Dove. It's disturbing that you're filming me while I select my soap. Here we go. Oh, police discovered a disturbing trove of videos on a man's phone after a woman called 911 on him. The call came into Dearborn Police Department at 5 p.m. on the 11th of February. The caller reported a man and she saw performing lewd acts outside the store. She provided the description of the man's vehicle, a white Jeep Wrangler. All of you out there with a white Jeep Wrangler just kind of got like a real weird thing going on. Right? You're just like, oh my goodness, I got a white Jeep Wrangler. Officers pulled him over, and he was driving out of the parking lot. You know who you are. 31-year-old man, is that you? A Detroit resident was taken into custody on a charge of indecent exposure. But the alleged incident was only the latest in a long line. During the investigation, detectives located video footage of the man doing things with unidentified females through the aisles at Dearborn Target store while performing lewd acts. There were numerous videos on the phone in which he allegedly follows the woman around while touching, like he's like there doing, like rubbing himself up against things or something. I'm not sure what the hell he's doing. It's something weird, okay? The recording dated December 3rd. The man had recorded himself where he was inside Target doing the old masturbazione. And then ultimately, God almighty, I can't. Ah, goodness. Apparently it was a pearl necklace steal. And the woman had no idea that she all of a sudden was the recipient of a pearl necklace. No idea. She's just walking through the store, no jewelry on at all. All of a sudden, she's wearing a pearl necklace. She was shocked, to say the least, guys. In some cases, the women he victimized were mothers with young children present. The man is facing charges of child. I can't. Somebody, please. This guy's a piece of garbage. What is going on in this world? Oh my goodness. They just get worse. The stories get worse, guys. Man stabbed at LA Fitness in dispute over the leg press. Who else wants some? I'm not really sure. Norman, how are you, my friend? A 69-year-old stabbed a man at the LA Fitness in a dispute over workout equipment. Austin police said the suspect is identified as John Mackinson. What's that? You know Mackinson? Are you kidding me? He's a terrible guy here. He stabbed someone. He was arrested and put behind bars on Friday. The incident at the fitness center. He was charged with aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. And that's a big deal, guys. A man waiting to use the leg press Mackinson was using said Mackinson told him to find something else to do. The victim was eventually able to use the machine, and he later came back upon Mackinson near the locker room. Mackinson chased the victim and stabbed him in the butt, right in the hiney butt, with a folding knife that was 4 to 6 inches long. He stuck it right in. They say it hurts more when you take it out. I don't know. I just remember getting a staple in my finger when I was a kid. That hurt a lot when I took it out. Who else wants some? Mackinson yelled at the other people in the gym who were trying to protect the victim. He fled on foot. Officers found him behind the building with a description given by the victim and the witnesses. I just got out of prison for this, he told an arresting officer. He just got out of prison for stabbing somebody. So he follows that up by stabbing somebody. Oh my goodness, Mackinson, you're a silly goose. In 2012, Mackinson pleaded guilty to aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and was ordered to serve a 10-year prison sentence. He was jailed on $50,000 bond. Guys, he just spent 10 years in prison for stabbing somebody. Gets out and stabs somebody. Mackinson. You just never learn, will you, Mackinson? You were supposed to get rehabilitated. That was the whole point of you going to prison the first time. Math is hard, I guess. Jordan Spieth's disqualification reignites dumbest rule in all of sports. I'm not really too interested in that story, though, so. Oh, goodness. Look at this stuff, guys. I can't even read it. What is the CEO of Hyundai's electric air taxi? Thinks we'll be flying them by 2028, but admits the batteries aren't there yet. Yeah, they're never going to get that to work. You got to get that guy who's in like Mozambique, somewhere in Africa. He's created like a free energy device where it works off a frequency. The batteries charge themselves off the frequency of the universe. He's can't get patents for it because the big companies won't allow it. This guy already figured it out. There's videos of it, all this stuff. He's done a TV, he's done a car, he's done a plane, he's done a helicopter. None of them have gas. Or some of them do, but they're like biodegradable, whatever. But there's a few that are just running off of frequency. It's amazing. Why would they not allow that out? Because it's a free energy device. They said they won't allow them to patent it because they're calling it a perpetual motion device. Because it runs on its own. It's unbelievable. These people do anything to try to keep real quality inventions from us. I think I got enough news today, guys. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we got enough here. Especially that first story was so good. We could have just ended on that. Like, all right, guys, have a good day. Epstein had a creepy panopticon room to monitor all his guests. Okay, this I just got to see because this guy was a piece of garbage scumbag, right? You could see that word, okay? Jeffrey Epstein hired men to monitor what was happening in his New York mansion from a CCTV tower. Provided his victims with car services and cell phones so he could track their movements, according to a new lawsuit filed by 2 accusers in a Manhattan federal court. To ensure the women's silence, Epstein and his enablers also gathered dirt to use against them and threatened anyone who might cooperate with police. They paid the victims hundreds of dollars in hush money after the perverted financier abused them, and they recruited other young women and girls into the scheme. All this would not be possible, the lawsuit says, without Epstein's right-hand men. His longtime personal lawyer, Darren Indike and accountant Richard Kahn, who've long denied any wrongdoing in connection with their former boss. Danielle Bensky, another victim, referred to the Jane Doe 3, are suing Indike and Kahn, accusing them of advancing the late vendor's cult-like trafficking network for more than a decade. Indike joined Epstein's inner circle in 1995, while Kahn arrived around 2005. The Epstein enterprise would not have existed in the duration that it did if its scope and scale, at its scope and scale, without the collaboration and support of others, the legal filing says. No one, except perhaps Ghislaine Maxwell, was an essential and central part to Epstein's operation and these defendants. Epstein's former girlfriend, Maxwell, serving a prison time, and jury convicted her of trafficking in December 2021. The lawsuit seeks class action status and comes on the heels of two multi-million-dollar settlements from JP Morgan and Deutsche Bank, which victims sued in the late of 2022 for providing the financial mechanisms for Epstein's ring. You know what I'm saying? As the Daily Beast reported, Kahn and Indike served as co-executors of the Epstein estate and have shunned interviews with the press, keeping a low profile and avoiding social media completely. Anyway, guys, that's what we got going on over here. You know, look at this freaking scumbag. Yay. You know, sometimes, guys, you have to deal with it in life. Maine, how are you? Chris Donaldson in the house. Helen, I got Harvey here with me. Guys, I got to tell you, if you missed it, and you may have, the first story of the day was so freaking funny. It was so good. I got to go back and cut that one. Yesterday we had another thing that was great. I don't remember what it was now, but oh, it was about the jeans. I think the story about the jeans was hilarious yesterday, where like someone wears jeans for 10 days in a row. Like, that's funny. There was, the stuff that was done there was so funny. Oh my goodness. New York, this is the epitome of genius right here. Ready? New York man running Breaking Bad style drug lab and inadvertently turns himself in by reporting a burglary. Someone just broke in and stole my meth. What? A New York man ran in Breaking Bad style drug lab. He turned himself in. Matthew Lahinsky, 23, of Farmingville, pleaded guilty Thursday to 2 counts of third-degree unlawful manufacture of methamphetamine and other charges for running an illicit drug lab in Long Island. Lahinsky had called 911 to report a burglary at his purported business, Quantitative Laboratories, in Ronkonkoma. The Suffolk County Police arrived. They found broken glass in the entrance to the lab and later discovered what appeared to be a clandestine laboratory that made methamphetamine and dimethyltryptamine. Dimethyltryptamine. A hallucinogenic substance as well as other substances. A search warrant led to the discovery of 100 items of laboratory equipment. Authorities also recovered $40,000 in cash, ecstasy, and another 3 ounces of methamphetamine and more than 625,000 milligrams of pure ketamine. What? 625,000 milligrams? What in the freaking heck? I don't even know how much that is, but it sounds like almost 1 million, milligrams. They also found over 20 plastic 55-gallon drums containing gamma-butyroacetone, butyrolactone, containing gamma-butyrolactone, one more time, Joanne, can we get it right? 55-gallon drums containing gamma-butyrolactone. I think that last one's sort of right, Bianca? Gamma-butyrolactone, a chemical similar to gamma-hydroxybutyric. These are all stupid names. Just say gamma-hydrox, I think they probably say that in the meth game. Guys, you got any gamma-hydro? How about any gamma-butyro? Lahinsky pleaded guilty to a total of 13 charges Thursday and is due back in court on March 20th. You guys going? Are you going to go into the courtroom for that one? Lahinsky, tell us how you did it. 625 milligrams, 1,000 milligrams, buddy? I just want to know the story. I want to know the story about how you manufactured that many milligrams of ketamine. Yeah, the crypto clock kind of lactone was a good story too. You could tell that one after. His attorney did not immediately respond to comment the defendant was operating a Breaking Bad. Yeah, he's concealing it as a guise to a legitimate business. I want to thank the Suffolk County Police Department officers for keenly identifying the evidence of a clandestine drug lab during the initial response to the scene, as well as our prosecutors and other members of the law enforcement for a collaborative effort and further investigation. Look at this guy. Was he a part of it? So that's it, guys. That's the news of the day. I'm not reading anymore. I'm done with it. I'm over it. I'm over the news of the day. I think we did enough of it. At least it seems like we did. In my book, Joanne, can you do me a favor and leave us alone? Thank you. Sometimes you have to take her out before you bring her back. Joanne. Weezer. Unreal, you know? So I don't know if you guys, I want to actually get a little quick feedback from you. Do you like it better when the whole screen is behind me and I'm scrolling, or do you like it better in a little framed area like it is now in the corner of the screen? I think this one looks more professional. I don't know. And I'm hoping you can see it well, like when you flip your camera and you could see all the information on the screen just as well, but then you actually have a pleasing background as opposed to just the whole thing is the screen. So I'm curious to see what you guys think about that, because I just did this the second day of doing that new style. Chris hasn't had his coffee yet. Chris, fill her up, my friend. I'm going to close down this right now because I think there's nobody on with us at the moment. That's good. TikTok, they're done. TikTok's done. So this was another interesting show, right? We do it every day. We have a lot of fun. I will be back. Today we're doing a vertical live because I didn't do it the last 2 days and I don't have a piece of content finished yet. I've got a bunch of things I'm working on. Scammer Payback's almost done. I'm about 16 minutes in. It's a 28-minute bit, 26-minute bit. But it's turning into a really funny episode. So I'm curious to see what you think when that comes out. It'll be Friday or Saturday, I think. Hopefully I'll have it ready for Friday. I plan to be back as well this evening for the typical show we do where we play some music. So if you can, spread the word, join us, all that good stuff. I hope you had a good time today. I always have such a great time reading the news here. Let me say goodnight to you. If you're here, don't leave, don't lurkaroo. Say good afternoon to me and I'll say good afternoon to you. We sometimes rhyme on this show. Chris Donaldson, my friend. Helen Gale Townsend, my sister. Kill It and Grill It, my brother. Main Girl, my sister. And Trish Killian, you are amazing. You guys are so awesome. Thank you so much for being here with me. We have so much fun, don't we? I'll tell you that first story. Ooh, it was a slayer. I gotta go back and get that one. These stories keep me busy when I'm trying to sell real estate, and then I'm like, I gotta pull that story out, you know? But geez, some of them are crazy. The weird thing was we went from that awesome story then to like scrolling for like 5 minutes trying to find one other story that wasn't politically based. Everything there was a takedown, political takedown. I'm like, oh my gosh, that's bad, guys. It's scary to see that. I'm hoping we can get past that somehow. Maybe when we continue this show and people see that, you know, we can find comedy in every other story that's not politically based, have a laugh, and then you're gonna see how freaking messed up everything is once we start doing this and you do it consistently with me. Like, not just when we're joking about seeing that, but when you go back into the world and all you're seeing is that, you're gonna see the difference between what we do here and what everybody else is doing outside of this platform. So, welcome to the longest running daily variety show, the Mark Inspires channel. And what a friggin' show. I look forward to seeing you a little later for Vertical. And then again, later on tonight, can we get our outro, Joanne? Where's the outro? Trying to do it within, we got it. We're gonna be right under an hour. Sounds like someone's working on something out there. Join me for Vertical, and then I'll see you tonight for some more music. Till then, love you guys. Have a great day. got to go. Oh, DM Ryan, my brother. I'll see you guys later. Have a great day.